farming archery XP starts with a little bit of alchemy. Let's get into this, guys. First things first, we are obviously in the very first alchemy shop getting the game, and you're going to want to come down here and start picking all of this eyebright. Don't worry if you don't have the recipe, we're going to go through it right now. Once you have all of that, you want to get into the alchemist shop here, and you're going to want to pick up some charcoal and St. John's wort. I don't advise buying belladonna from this guy. You're going to want to pick that up fresh. And if you don't already have any, all you're going to need to do is come on across the road where you can usually find some leaning up against the building. And make sure you grab yourself a few fresh nettles whilst you're over here as well, as those are also going to be used in the first potion. Don't worry, you're not going to need a lot of it. Just a couple of crafts will be enough. For best results, you're going to want secrets of secrets. So if you get your alchemy skill leveled up, which I already have a guide for on the channel, that is going to be incredibly useful to you. And if you want to craft less often, highly recommend the Secret of Matter perks as well. Now that we have our ingredients, we're ready to begin brewing, so let's get to the alchemy table. We'll start out by adding some oil to the cauldron. And then we want to add belladonna, charcoal, nettle, and St. John's wort to the shelf. We start out by grinding up St. John's wort and nettle together. And then we're going to grind those up. And add them to the cauldron. We're going to drop the cauldron down. And then turn the hourglass. At this point, you can also add the charcoal, which as you can see is to the right to the mortar. And then we're going to wait for the hourglass to run out so that we can turn it. Once that's finished, we'll lift up the cauldron, grind the charcoal, and add that to the cauldron. We then add 1 belladonna to the cauldron. Drop it back down. And turn the hourglass. Wait for the hourglass to run out. Lift the cauldron back up. And then we can turn this into a potion. This potion's actually really overpowered if you want to do any form of leveling, because this is Henry's Fox Potion, which, in case you don't know, increases your experience gained by 50% for 2 days. So at 18, I now have 36 in-game days of 50% more XP. So realistically, we should not need too many of those. For our second potion then, we want to start out with Spirit. We're going to add Eyebright, which we have fresh, and St. John's wort to the shelf. We then want to add 2 Eyebright to the cauldron. We're going to drop that down. Turn the hourglass. We can add St. John's to the mortar and pestle ready. And then watch the hourglass. We actually need to do 3 turns for this. So it's gone down once. We're going to turn it. It's gone down the second time, so we're going to turn it again. Lift up the cauldron. Grind up the St. John's wort. And add that in. We can't be slow about this next part. I'm going to try and give some tips right now. We're going to drop this down, turn the hourglass, and then we need to be pumping the bellows for 1 turn. As soon as that's done, we need to lift the cauldron back up, and then we can finish off the potion. And then let go and repress as the hand reaches the top so that it keeps on pumping the bellows. That's going to look something like this. So we move the cauldron down, turn the hourglass, and then we pump the bellows. Raise the cauldron. And finally, we distill this one. So that means we take the file and we do this on the small little funnel here on the side. that's going to give you Bowman's Brew, which is going to give us 8 extra marksmen and stop us using stamina when using a bow for 15 minutes. We are going to use the remainder of our ingredients creating this potion. Once that's done, equip your weapon of choice. I like the crossbow because I find it easier to shoot with, especially early on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to head to Trotsky Castle. We don't need to get inside. We just need to reach the farms out front. And then we can make our way over to the quarry where there is some target practice happening. Just in case you guys need to see this on the map, you can see that it's just very slightly to the west of where we just fast traveled to. And all we need to do is speak to this dude here in green, which is Bohumir. Before we speak to our friend, it's going to be a good idea to drink our potions. And then we can go ahead and enter into a shooting contest. Each time we win, we're going to get given a good amount of Marksman XP. So start with beginners if you're not feeling too confident, which is what I'm going to do. And we won't even need to use our own arrows as we're doing this, or in my case, bolts. If you're just starting out like I am, this character is a nice fresh save. The additional marksman that we gain from the Bowman potion should stop you from swaying too much and should allow you to easily win your first competition. And in that exact same conversation, we can just keep on repeating this as much as we wish to until our marksman is leveled up.